Okay, having done all the setup of our machine, we are all set to write our first Selenium automated test. Now we don't want to take a very simple one step approach at a time to learn Selenium. We would take a leap step where we will be automating a complex test scenario first, and later on we will try to see how each and every piece of that complex test is knit together to achieve our scenario. So the first test that we want to automate, we want to have it as close as possible to a real world scenario, and this is a Selenium login form page that we have on our Being Zero site. So the automation that we are going to do is, on this page what we want to do, we will enter a username which is Being Zero and a password which is Being Zero, and when we hit the login button, what happens is this page shows us a alert, and this alert has text success. So the first test that we are writing, what we will do is we'll open up this website, we'll go to this page, we'll enter the username, enter the password, click the login button, and whatever alert comes, its text we will print onto the console and we will exit the test. So if this kind of test we automate and we achieve the automation of this, then we will try to look into the concepts of Selenium and how those concepts coming together automated this test. So great, these are the manual steps that we have seen, and this test has one more variation which we will leave as an exercise for people, and that variation is if you give an invalid credential. So let's say rather than Being Zero, if you give dummy or any other username and we hit login, then the message that we see is failure. So we will automate the success scenario, and failure scenario is something that we are leaving as an exercise for the viewers so that they don't just watch the series, they do a hands-on along with it. They do some practice exercises. Fair. So the first step in automating this test is we will create a file called notepad and we say valid login test and being0.js. So this is a file we are creating, which right now is a blank file. Now what we need to do is first we'll write the steps in the form of comments, and the first comment that we are writing is open up browser. Second step that we have is we want to say go to this URL. Third step that we have is locate username text box. Fourth step is enter username, and the username we are entering is Being Zero. Fifth step we will say is locate password text box on the site, then we say enter password, which is again Being Zero, then we say locate login button, click that button, and after that we will say wait for alert and get its text, print the text, and in the end we'll close the browser. So this is not a beginner scenario that we are seeing. So even if you don't get some of the lines that I will write, why we are writing those lines and what those lines do, don't panic, because all these things will be covered in detail step by step in upcoming videos of this tutorial. So let's get started. Now in order to open the browser, one simple choice that we have is we search for the Firefox or Chrome binary on our PC and we just launch that process. Now if we start doing that, we will have to write a hell lot of code to start a binary and then to interact with it. So Selenium is a library, is a module that is given to us which helps us achieve this task in very simple way. So that is what we will be using next. So we will have Selenium libraries added as a dependency on our project, and we will be depending on the Selenium. So our architecture is going to look like our test will be talking to Selenium client libraries, Selenium client library will talk to the browser, and that is how our automation will be achieved. Fair. So for now we have understood what test we are automating. These are the manual steps we have seen. In next video we'll take a look at how do we download Selenium binaries for JavaScript, and then how do we automate this test case.